What part does willpower play in the awakening process, if any? Don't I use some willpower to motivate myself to follow your teachings? So it's not willpower, because if you use willpower and you listen because you think you should be listening, or you're a spiritual person and you should be listening to a spiritual talk to just prove to yourself that you are spiritual, or you are determined to awaken. No, there is something in you that wants to listen and that responds. And that in you that wants to listen has nothing to do with willpower. It's an energy field that rises up. And the only way you can listen to any spiritual teaching is from that deeper level, not from the conceptual, mental level. And whenever you listen to a spiritual teaching, it's always from the deeper place. It's always a recognition of what you already knew deep down. So the truth is always recognized because it comes from, you listen from the same place from where the teaching arises, and so it recognizes itself. The truth, you already know it, even though it may be too deep for you to access it for yourself. Then you listen to a spiritual teaching, and suddenly the truth that is in you is called forth and drawn out and responds, oh yeah. And you immediately sense, that's it, yes. Why didn't I know that before? Of course you did know it before, because now you recognize it. Now there's something else in you that does not want to listen. The egoic entity may sometimes take over and say something like, I can't deal with that spiritual stuff now. What's the point of all this? It's not getting me anywhere, is it? Been doing that for years. Where's it getting me? Nowhere. The story in the head. And then you believe in what it says. And sometimes it can stop people temporarily from going to the spiritual teaching. But then if that goes on for long enough, you start to suffer more and more. And finally the suffering becomes the thing that awakens you again, that creates the gap or the opening in you, and you're ready. Now you want to listen again. Can't stand the suffering anymore. So willpower is not it. Now, it may sometimes look at first sight, it may look, when I say be present, you can choose to be present. When there's a certain level of presence in you already, you can choose to be present rather than to drift back into your mind. And there is an alertness associated with presence, but it is a relaxed alertness, not a tight alertness. No, you see the difference? It's easier acting it out than talking about it. It's not the tight, almost fearful alertness that is or even some anger behind it. It's a relaxed alertness, so it might seem incompatible almost, relaxed alertness, but it's not. So the alertness has an intensity to it, but that's not willpower. The non-relaxed alertness has an element of willpower in it, and that's not it.